Hi and welcome to MTV Presents, a pretty special edition today. I'm Jo Whiley and it's my great pleasure to introduce one of the most enduring and creative bands around, really. They're playing in this tiny, weeny venue tonight in front of a very lucky invited audience. So please welcome R.E.M. And how comfortable do you feel right now? It is like being in front of a firing squad, isn't it? There's all these people here.
I do this in my own home all the time.
Do you? You pay
exactly
people to come into your front room and do it?
Sad fact.
Right, they've all got questions for you anyway, so we'll kick off with Karen from Sweden. Karen.
Hi.
Hi.
I think all of us here consider you pretty much just genius. And my question to you is, who or what do you consider as genius?
Gosh, my favorite novelist of all time is Flannery O'Connor. She's a Southern Gothic writer, and when I read her when I was 14 or 15, it just like opened a world for me. I think she's definitely a genius. Her stuff, she wrote Wise Blood, A Good Man is Hard to Find. I'm not a really well-known author, but I always...
I was going to say, is anybody here kind of connecting with this?
Well, see, we grew up in the South, and in the South you study Southern literature, which there actually is some, as opposed to, say, California literature. So that was the first person that I ever read and thought, wow, this is just touched by, you know, the divine or genius.
Michael?
That's a word that I don't use or misuse very often. I was just thinking, it's such an obvious answer, but we did a benefit last week in New York. Patti Smith did a song called 1959, which is off of Peace and Noise, I think. And in the song, she correlated the fall of Tibet, the occupation of Tibet by China, which happened in 1959, with the Pontiac, is that right? Impala, which was the car that was built and delivered to the public in the U.S. in 1959, the summer of 1959. She draws a parallel between these two very disparate things. She told me that it was something that she had lifted from Jean Genet, that he, because I sat down with her and I said, this is a phenomenal analogy to make, I think. It's something that's really lacking in pop music, and she said that she stole it from Jean Genet. So that, I think, is genius.
I think Brian Wilson is as close to a genius as you get in pop music. The fact that he managed to hear in his head all of those complex arrangements before he ever set foot in the studio, and he already knew what he wanted it to sound like from the little chiming bells all the way down to the bass, is very impressive.
Okay, it's fairly varied. You don't know any of these questions in advance, I think we should point that out. So you haven't sort of been sitting there cribbing and writing out the answers. Sure. Okay, Pedro next from Portugal. Take the mic, it's your turn.
Hi, what has been the effect on the band of losing your drummer, Bill Berry?
Aside from the obvious one, which we don't have a drummer, it changed our relationships in a lot of ways. Bill and I always tended to be the guys who were like, come on, let's do everything faster, faster. He's gone now. I'm the Lone Ranger. I'm out there in left field going, come on, guys, let's go, let's go, let's go. But that's my problem, you know.
Do they just ignore you then, generally?
We have certain things that we've agreed to ignore about each other. That pushiness is pretty well ignored, and there's other things I ignore with these guys.
Come on, you can tell us.
No, I mean, this isn't therapy. I don't hope.
It feels like it. Do you see him very often? Are you in touch with him much?
Yeah, I mean, he's 25 minutes out of town, and he has a phone that he doesn't answer, so...
Yeah, you just leave messages,
exactly,
and he just doesn't call you back.
Exactly.
Has he kind of phoned you up at any time and said, I really want to come and get up on stage? He must. Has he been to see you?
No, he doesn't miss it.
He hasn't been to see you?
No. He played, right after he left the band, he played a benefit show for Tourette syndrome in Athens and sold his drums at auction after that, so he has no drums. He can't.
Desire is gone.
I will guarantee you he will never perform in public again.
Wow. Okay, Gertrude from Denmark.
Hi, what is your wish for the next millennium?
Your wish for the next millennium?
I just wish we'd get over. I'm tired of hearing about it.
It's the way. It's dreadful, isn't it?
Yeah, and I kind of hope all the demented right-wing Christians in America don't start stringing people up on telephone poles when nothing happens New Year's Eve this year.
Yeah.
That's my wish.
Michael,
What's
your wish?
Agree with Peter. I wish it would be done already.
How will you be spending the millennium? Have you got? And this is the question everyone's asking at the moment. Have you made plans? Have you booked?
Actually, no, I haven't. I mean,
how would you like to spend it?
I thought I should probably buy a bottle of champagne.
Just for once. Why not?
That's as far as I've gotten with it.
What about you, Mike?
My favorite thought in the millennium is 2 billion Chinese don't give a damn, because, you know, in the Chinese New Year, it's like, or the Chinese calendar, it's like the year 1453 or something.
4567.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just this Western concept that really has no basis in reality and doesn't mean anything, but everybody wants it to mean something, and I just kind of ignore it.
Okay. We have a question next from Eddie Warren from Bournemouth.
Hiya.
Your question.
Your latest album is entitled Up, as far as I know. And I'd just like to know what gets you up in the morning.
My dogs.
It's not the morning, I hate to say it. I'm a devoted late sleeper. So.
Michael, what about you?
My dogs get me up in the morning.
How many have you got?
I've got 2 dogs. The big one stands about 10 feet away from the bed and barks nonstop. And the little one jumps up on the bed and she does this thing where she digs a hole in me.
It's familiar, obviously. Yeah. Do you actually get to see your homes very often? When was the last time that you...
With the amount of sleep that Mike gets... Can I say this?
No.
Go on. I can tell you've had a lot of sleep in your past. It's the youthful appearance.
I appreciate that.
Okay. It's time now to take a break and we'll get some music. This is R.E.M. taking to the stage in the Tabernacle in London's Nottinghill. Treat yourself to a real musical high. This is R.E.M. Hi and welcome back to MTV Presents. I'm here with 3 of the most talented songwriters and performers of... You snigger! I think so.
Commercial break, we'll be right back.
No, you have to answer more questions now. They're a band, they make music, and that's about it. Okay, we've got some more questions now. Christian from Germany.
Where was your favorite gig and what made that special?
Did you get that? Where was your favourite gig?
You'd have to go for the really demented ones. Well, the one in Hamburg at the Knust was pretty special. We played to 4 people. All of them demanded their money back because we weren't a country and western band. For some reason, you really remember that.
Well, we just did a TV show in Spain last fall. The Miguel Bosé, who's the biggest pop star and actor in all of Spain, apparently, and it was supposed to be a half-hour TV show. We ended up playing for like 90 minutes, and the audience was completely insane. It was wonderful. It was a lot of fun.
In 1982, I think, or 83, we were invited to open for a ska band. There was a ska revival back then in Orange County, California, in front of 2,000 people. It was one of the biggest shows we'd ever done. And they asked us to open the show because Peter played Rickenbacker and they thought we were a ska band. So we went out, we got through the second song and got booed off stage because we were not a ska band. And I pulled my pants down and tried to take a crap on stage. I was so angry because they were so mean and rude to us and we didn't deserve it. And they came and grabbed me off the stage and with my pants around my ankles. And
There are photos.
we ran out the back door into our van and took off, saving our lives.
Why is that? Okay, next question. Michaela. This is Michaela from Italy.
Hi. I've got a question for you, Michael. I know you wrote a book of poems. So, who are your favorite poets?
I don't like poetry. It's true. I think Neruda, which Peter turned me on to a long time ago. Obviously, I read the entire works of Arthur Rimbaud when I was 16 years old because of Patti Smith, and only at the age of 18 or 19 realized that his name was pronounced Rimbaud. But I really don't read poetry. I don't much like it or enjoy it. I support it. I think it's a great thing.
Okay, Zilka from Germany next. Zilka, what's your question?
Hi, I would like to know how difficult is it for you to make real music when there's so much dance music around?
I don't think what we do is any more real than the best of the dance music. And some of the stuff, a lot of it, like everything else, a lot of rock bands or a lot of pop bands, a lot of it is really mediocre and not that good. There's stuff that rises out of that and I think becomes better than whatever category it's been put in. I don't think it's that hard to make real music, really.
Well, from the time we started, we were always making music that was completely polar opposite to what was popular. Back in the early 80s, it was all synthesizers, bands with big hair.
This is intentional or
no, it's just our misfortune, I'm afraid.
Right.
And maybe even it's easier because of that, you know, because you don't have to worry about fitting into a trend or sounding like anybody else. You just do what comes naturally and whatever feels good to you. And if that just happens to be completely counter to what's popular, then it makes you stand out even more.
I mean, can you imagine bringing out a techno album or something, or you have absolutely no desire?
Well, you know, I think it'd be pretty pathetic for us to try to jump on a bandwagon like that. I can listen to it. I listen to opera. I'm never going to write an opera. I can pretty much guarantee you that there's not going to be an R.E.M. opera. But that doesn't mean, you know, it's not part of my work.
Disagree then. I think our next question kind of relates to that. Lorena, is it Lorena? Sorry.
Hi, yes. Are there any artists here or in the US you'd like to collaborate with?
Peter, do you want to take that?
You know, most of the people that I really like probably don't need me. You know, I mean, I just...
But you can pay them, you know, you can persuade them.
You know, I like to go see them play, you know, buy their records. I mean, I kind of like coming over here because the radio is completely different than it is in America. In America, it's kind of dire right now. So we get over here, and it's kind of amazing how many really interesting left field things you hear, you know, on what is essentially government radio. In America, it's all commercial, so it's... I mean,
Can you name any artists and bands that you particularly like at the moment?
You know, I heard a track from the new Underworld record today. I thought it was really great. The new Blur single is really interesting. I don't know what I'm going to think about it in a week, but it was really different. In America, I like the Eels.
Are they doing well?
No,
Eels?
but I mean, but it's a great record.
Yeah.
I thought the Fatboy Slim record was interesting. Gomez, I played the Gomez record a lot.
That's good.
It covers a lot of ground. And the thing is, they're so young, you don't really know if they know what they're doing. And there's so much of it is really 70s. You kind of wonder, well, did they actually play Little Feat records, or do they just kind of sound like that and it's by accident?
Yeah. I'm sure it was the parents or the grandparents or something. Michael, what about you? Is there anyone you'd like to?
Well, I was shopping yesterday with Tom York, and we went and got the new Underworld CD. I don't like the single at all.
Did you buy one each?
Yeah. I don't like... It was on sale. I don't like the single very much, but I think the track off Life Less Ordinary, Moaner is the name of it?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I was actually set to... We were going to do a collaboration, and it was a scheduling thing. We weren't able to get together, but they came out with that track, which I think is an amazing, amazing song. But,
So something may happen with them.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm throwing it out there, guys. Give me a call again. I really like them a lot.
You won't get them off the phone.
I think the record is pretty good. Yeah.
Mike?
There's an American singer-songwriter named Beth Orton from somewhere up in the Northeast, and her first record is really, really amazing.
American? She's English.
Is she English?
I thought she was American.
She sings with an American accent sometimes.
Well,
no, she's fantastic. She was on the show at the beginning of the week.
Well, there's another English cop for you. You know, it's like, well, she's great wherever she's from.
Beth Orton, yeah,
I'm a big fan.
Good.
I would have sworn. And she called her record to Trailer Park something or other.
Yeah, no, she did.
I mean,
are there trailer parks in England?
No.
No. All of our relatives have lived in one way or another, so we just assume anyone that writes about trailer parks.
That's right. She did her video in the English desert. But
there was sons.
I've got her EP, and I really like that a lot.
She got me fooled anyway.
There's a lot of great music out there, and a lot of it is by dint of the business of music is categorized as one thing or another. But a lot of it, for me, it's kind of pan-categorical and
pan-categorical.
That's a good word.
That's a great word.
Okay, I'll stop there.
We'll stop there, and we'll have some more music now from R.E.M. from the Tabernacle in London's Nottinghill. This is R.E.M. Hi and welcome back to MTV Presents R.E.M. We've just been sitting here chatting, answering questions. We've got more music coming up a bit later on. We'll take more questions from...
Martin.
Martin.
I'm from Holland.
Martin from
I have
Holland.
a question. What were your influences in the past, dus before you started as a band, and are there some now bands nowadays that inspire you when you write music, some new bands or something?
Okay.
So
Mike, Mike, start.
Everybody knows, you know, what fans we are of Radiohead. I've always found them just enormously inspiring. I think they're probably the best band on the planet right now.
I think bands that inspired us early on. Young Marble Giants was a record that all of us listened to over and over again. Suicide. Obviously, Patti Smith, Television, New York Dolls, Velvet Underground. And then stuff that's going on now that, you know, I run off this list of people all the time, but people who I think are really doing amazing stuff, and particularly vocalists, you know, like Lyric and the way that they present their voice. Bjork, Radiohead, Patti Smith, Hole, Grantley Buffalo, Natalie Merchant.
You're worried now you're going to miss someone off that list.
I am. You too.
Are you, over the next year, are you likely to be playing with any of these bands that you've just mentioned? I mean, Radiohead, are you likely to do something with?
Yeah, we'll be opening for them any day.
I think they're recording.
Right. And any of the other bands? When you're doing the tour, who's supporting?
We haven't decided yet. We're going to be discussing that in the next few weeks.
Do you fight about that? Are you
We
so general agreement?
We agree. What we want is someone who's really inspiring, that every day you want to see the show, because you're going to see them. I mean, there's nothing worse than have a band that you don't really like opening for you. Then you have to be polite and check out the show. I prefer to
have you done that many times?
No, we're pretty good about.
Actually, no.
It's happened a couple times, but generally you want to work with people that will get you excited.
Yeah.
You think, God, we got to top that, or boy, that was a great show, or it's very exciting.
The best live band I've ever seen. We were lucky enough to tour with them and see them a lot. Was the Gang of Four.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
really?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think probably the best live band that I've ever personally seen.
I would say that the show that we saw at the Bayou in
Washington, D.C. Oh my God.
in Washington, D.C. was probably the single best show I've ever seen. Just, you walked out and you're almost disappointed. It's like, well, that's the best.
Okay. We'll move on. Patrizia, I think it is this time.
Can pop music be art?
Can pop music be art? Or is it just disposable trash?
Everything is ephemeral in life. What is the definition of art? That's what I would ask. I mean, I think that plant behind you and the way it's lit, and the way it's reflecting off of your hair, that to me, that's God in a coffee cup right there.
It's a plastic plant, isn't it? I think it's a plastic plant. Well,
that's
real.
Oh, very good.
So yes.
No, that's not.
But then no.
Absolutely, maybe.
Okay, another question.
All right, so if you guys had the opportunity doing different...
Wait, where are you from?
From Germany, I'm Manuel.
Manuel, I lost my page, I'm sorry.
Italy.
Okay.
It's always good to know.
All right, so if you guys had the opportunity doing different things instead of making music, for example, Michael, you were producing the excellent movie Velvet Goldmine. What would you guys do then?
I think we're all doing it. I mean, every one of us has things that we're really interested in outside of R.E.M. And for the most, R.E.M. takes up a lot of time and doesn't afford us much time, but each of us are able to do those things, whether it's raising a family, working on photography, working on other musical things.
For myself, I mean, whatever else, the only thing I'm really good at is music. So even if I weren't in R.E.M., I'd be doing some sort of musical endeavor, I'm sure. So.
Okay, Peter, would you add anything?
No, the only thing I ever thought that I might like to do other than this is teach literature. And I know that I probably, if I'd done it, I would be in jail for killing one of my students because I'm not a very patient person. So all things considered, probably it's best I never did that. But, in the very back of my head, I like to think that, gee, that would have been a different life that I would have been interested in doing. Something academic, I'd be a really great, totally eccentric teacher, I think.
I think you'd be a good lecturer. Our final question comes from Juliet from London in the UK.
Hello. Do you still get nervous when you play live? And what's worse, a big stadium or a little gig like today?
We all get nervous. What scares you most, big or little?
They're the same for me.
I don't
really?
think they're
Are they?
Yeah, honestly.
I think for me the smaller ones are more nerve-wracking because it's more personal.
Sure, yeah, people are so much closer.
They're right there, and they can see when something goes wrong. I mean, you're playing in a huge stadium. Half the people are not really paying attention, they're dancing or whatever, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But in a place this size, they're paying attention to you, and if one of us screws up.
Yeah, I mean, this is much more nerve-wracking than any live show that we do these days. This sort of thing.
Sitting and talking.
Yeah. Is that far worse? Is this kind of thing an ordeal for you? Or?
It's not an ordeal. It's just anything could go wrong. These people have been remarkably kind, but it's not always that way, and it just, I mean, this is hard, and it's the one thing I've never really gotten particularly used to. I'm not complaining. It's just you do it, and you just go, I can't believe I just did that. The playing part, I know how to do that.
Yeah, because the music is what you're really about.
We rehearse that stuff.
Yeah. Do you get to a point sometimes where you just don't want to do this, and you just say no? I'm not talking. Or do you just feel like it is part of the job and you have to do it?
It is part of the job, and it's something that none of us really mind doing. We're all pretty talkative people with opinions, and there's a point where I just get tired of hearing. I get bored with myself. I get tired of repeating the same thing over and over again, and feel like I don't really have anything fresh to bring to a conversation.
So do you get to the point where you make things up and you kind of amuse yourself by telling lies?
No, I don't tell lies, unless somebody really deserves it.
Right. Maybe just crap in their face.
No, I don't. I mean,
we're on stage.
It's always a level playing field, I think.
Right, okay. Thank you very much for doing this today and for putting yourselves through the ordeal. And thanks to you lot for asking your questions. Did you enjoy it today? Yeah, they're okay, and they make good music as well. You can look at your response on your hand there.
Thanks for the questions were great.
Yeah.
You're happy to do it?
Thank you a lot.
Okay, we're going to have some music now then. This is from Nottinghill, from the Tabernacle in London. This is R.E.M, including It's the End of the World as We Know It. Maybe.